local people, local news and events, local sports, local matters. For all things Lloydminster area, this is Live with Kurt Price.
All right, now at the new Lloydminster Nissan, you can get 0% financing on the incredibly popular Nissan Rogue, Nissan Sentra, or Nissan Kicks models. And a reminder that the new Lloydminster Nissan service department is now open on Saturdays from 9 to 1. And welcome inside the new Lloydminster Nissan, where Maria Kokonas joins us to talk about Maria's Days, which start on Thursday and run through Saturday. And also, not only is Maria Days celebrating their 5th anniversary, but Spiro's is celebrating their 55th anniversary, if you can believe that. Pretty hard to believe.
I know, hey?
Yeah.
55.
That's pretty
nuts.
incredible. Yeah.
It's an earmark for me because I was born in Lloydminster.
Yeah.
So now you all know how old I am.
Well, it's older than you are.
Just by a few months.
By a few months, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. SwiftNet.ca is now available in Lloydminster, Cold Lake, North Battleford, and surrounding communities. Get local internet that you can rely on with no data caps and starting at just $39.99. And because they're local, you won't spend hours on hold anymore. It's unmatched customer service. Call 306-825-7111 today or visit swiftnet.ca. A local sculptor, Mick Clausen, has donated over 150 pieces of art, including sculptures, prints, woodcuts, and paintings from his personal collection for an art sale that will see 100% of the proceeds go to the Lloydminster Regional Theatre Foundation. That's the theater that supports the Vic Juba Theater. You can bid on items at 32auctions.com until 8 p.m. tomorrow. And there is time to view the items. You can head out tomorrow between 5 and 8 p.m. Go to 5212 15th Street here in Lloydminster, and you can see all of that art. There are some big pieces, there are some small pieces, and some very popular pieces. Sandy Beach Regional Park will hold their 30th annual golf tournament on Saturday. Char Kozak is the manager at Sandy Beach and told us you can make a full day with meals included in the tournament.
Is $45 admission for members or $65 admission for non-members. That's going to include a breakfast, lunch, and a steak supper, so an 18-hole golf tournament.
To register, just call 306-825-2092. You'll be put on a team depending on your handicap. Well, our last Cupcakes for Caregivers recipient is Darlene Dimturco. Darlene is the thrift store manager at the Olive Tree and clearly goes out of her way to care for those in need. So we stopped in last week and dropped off a dozen cupcakes with Darlene and thanked her for her compassion and her empathy. Cupcakes for Caregivers is proudly brought to you by Sobeys Lloydminster and the Lloydminster and District United Way. So you can nominate a caregiver or caregivers that have made a difference in your life or a loved one's life just by emailing livewithkurtprice@gmail.com. We could be taking cupcakes to them, and it's more than just cupcakes. It's an awesome way to say thank you. Carnage 2 takes place at Suffern Lake this Saturday, and Toby Cullum told us last year's event was fantastic. The highlight, of course, is the Highland Games, but he said different organizations have come together to make it a full day.
They got face painting, they got 2 bouncy houses, and that coming, the Marsden rec board again is going to help out Suffern Lake, which is really cool. The Sun Lake rec board is in on it. Suffern Lake is in on it. The Sun Lake 4-H club is coming out to help out. You got the beer gardens, you got all kinds of stuff.
Things get started at 10 a.m. There's also, along with the Kids Zone, a car show. Time now for the Lloydminster Look Back. And this week, with the Frenchman Butte Museum Festival coming up, we look back at the Fruit Festival in Frenchman Butte from 2002.
Nestled along the banks of the North Saskatchewan, Frenchman Butte is steeped in history. And the annual Fruit Pie Festival draws residents from all around to the picturesque museum setting.
A lot of people like to come out, and it's a sense of community.
The community pride may have been most pronounced during Sunday's non-denominational church service.
This is a once-a-year event that I look forward to, and I'm sure glad to see you here.
And with this year's drought, the draw may have been a bit bigger than expected, simply because farmers might have a little more time.
They're not harvesting, they're not haying, so, and it's a well-established thing. This is people like, and it's the showcase for our museum, and they like to come and see what we're doing, the improvements we've made in the artifacts in the museum.
You can drive through a parade, and it'll go up to about 180 degrees and stay there.
A little bit of rain over the weekend did not keep the antiques indoors, and it certainly did not dampen enthusiasm.
No, they still come anyway, dry or not. I think maybe they're a little relieved because there is some moisture. Finally, it's a little late, but we'll take it anyway.
We just need more rain, and lots of it.
And if there is one thing the Frenchman Butte Festival is famous for, it has to be the fruit pies.
Any kind of fruit, rhubarb, raspberries, strawberries, whatever. If it's fruit, we've got it in a pie.
From fruit pies and antiques to fundraising with silent auctions, Frenchman Butte is helping keep spirits up.
All these little outings help the farmers get away from all their stress.
We'll be heading out tomorrow to Frenchman Butte to talk about the big festival. Superior Water specializes in nothing but water, and with over 22 years in the business, they're proud and confident that their water and their service is superior. For iron filters, water softeners, reverse osmosis distillers, chlorine removal, and H2S odor removal, give Superior Water a call. 780-875-6636, or you can see them at their 57th Avenue location right beside Sheepskin Loft, and stay hydrated with pure, clean water. I drink Superior Water because I like the taste, and I believe after all that it is superior water. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the 55th anniversary of Spiro's and the 5th anniversary of Maria's Days starting Thursday.
Yeah.
At CK McKean Roofing, they understand what it took to put that roof over your head for your family. With over 20 years of experience under their belt, they strive to show you that with their workmanship and their integrity. Not all roofing companies are created equal, and that's why CK McKean Roofing encourages you to focus on your most important investments, your home and your family. CK McKean Roofing. Roofers do it on top.
At Diamond 7 Meats, we work with local farm families to provide a high-quality product and a great selection for you. Try our mouth-watering smokies, pulled pork, roast beef, and more, made pure and natural with no additives or fillers. We offer custom processing, and our experienced team works for you to provide a selection of sausage, burgers, and jerkies made to your specifications. Take your grilling to the next level with a Yoder smoker. Complete the grilling experience with Canadian-made, award-winning line of House of Q barbecue sauces. We're locally owned and operated, and we look forward to seeing you today.
At Lloydminster and District Co-op, membership matters more. Because being part of a co-op means you're connected to something bigger than yourself. From long-held legacy by those who built our communities, to people you call family, friends, and neighbors. When you're a Lloyd Co-op member, you're an owner in a local business that prides itself on purpose alongside profit. You earn cash back, you help support causes that matter most, and you're building a better way of life for the next generation. Membership matters more.
BioClean Disaster Services is committed, certified, reliable, and they will help you get your life back. 1-833-246-8326. When any kind of disaster hits your home or your business, you want to call BioClean Disaster Services. They're Lloydminster's local restoration company. They're also Lloydminster's largest restoration company. And taking care of your property and your belongings is very important, but what really makes a difference to you and what BioClean Disaster Services strives to do is take care of your family. 1-833-246-8326. Well, I want to welcome you back inside the new Lloydminster Nissan. We are excited to have Maria Kokonas joining us.
Great to be here.
Of course, she's been on the show several times. She's hosted the show, and so I think everybody in the community knows Maria from Spiro's, but maybe they don't know the story of Maria's days. So that's what we're going to talk a little bit about as well, and the story behind Spiro's as well. So Maria, thanks for giving us some time.
Great to be here. Thank you.
And I know you're busy because you guys, like, I couldn't have called you like a week ago when you weren't open, right?
I know.
Actually, no, you opened a week ago.
We opened 1 week ago today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but I couldn't call you earlier. I had to.
And you know
save
what?
it.
Funny about that opening was our fire that we had, remember we had a fire last year?
Yep.
The fire that we had was July the 29th. And we did all of our work and we got back open a year later on the 29th of July. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Wow. So
I mean, it didn't take us a year to get back open.
Yo, no.
This is our closure and
It took you a day.
It took us one day, and that's because of, and I totally agree, BioClean. BioClean, Macari Builders, the community got us open in one day. I had people calling and asking what they could do the day of the fire. What can we do? How can we help you? One lady actually asked if she could roll cutlery for us. She was like, I can't do anything for you other than, can I come and roll cutlery to get you going again? I was like, no.
We've got it handled.
We're okay.
But appreciate the offer.
Yeah,
That's
for
pretty
sure.
awesome.
Yeah, the phone was ringing and, just how can we help?
I don't think they do that for just anybody, Maria. It's something with your family.
It must be.
It's something with the way that you guys have
Yeah.
affected this community and what you've done in this community to make it better. So I think
For sure, yeah. But
plays
I
in
thought
it.
it was kind of neat to know that, on our opening day this year, after our rebuild, we call it a rebuild, we were closed for 20 days. And I'm telling you, I missed you for 20 days. I literally missed Lloydminster. I really, truly did. I missed your faces. I missed being able to see you coming in the front door. I missed just being in business, of course. But I was so excited to reopen on the 29th of July, which was 1 year to the day after our fire.
I think sometimes it can, days can become monotonous. They can run together.
Yeah.
You can start questioning yourself, what am I doing again today? Same thing every day,
for sure.
For you, it's working indoors.
Yeah.
So a lot of you're seeing the same thing over and over again. But then when that is not there, then you realize, oh man, I really, really miss it.
Yeah, well, and the other thing too is if anybody knows me personally, you know that I don't like to cook.
I know you don't.
I hate cooking at home. And I actually had to dust off my pots and my pans and actually pull price tags off of my stove pots. And I had to cook at home. So my mom, I talked to mom and dad, I think it was the Sunday before we opened, so it'd be like the 27th. And my mom says, so are you ready to open? And I said, oh my God, Mom, come hell or high water, we're opening on Tuesday. Like whether we're busy, like whether we're ready or not, we're opening. And she's like, well, why? And I said, because I am done with cooking at home. I'm so done. I'm so done with my family phoning and asking if there's dinner tonight. I don't know how to cook. I made stew one night. Can you imagine stew? Oh,
how did it turn out?
It was horrific. Horrific. And and I watched Jeremiah eat it and I was like, how are you eating that? I couldn't even go. I'm sure it was fine. He will tell you it was delicious. But I will tell you a funny story.
Maybe you're your own worst critic.
I must be, but no, I'm not, because I'll tell you a little story about Indy and Mila. So my grandkids, okay, listen to this. So every Monday night we eat at Spiro and Tina's house, and every Monday night Spiro and Tina cook dinner. Okay, we don't cook. We come, we eat, and thank you for dinner, Mom. Away we go, and it's always great.
You're like the Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, it's the most fabulous meal. So my grandkids really have never had a meal by my hand. Okay, so Indy and Mila walk in with Jeremiah, and they walk into the house, and they're kind of. First of all, I could tell they were kind of sniffing, like, is there food? And then, and Mila and Indy are both looking pretty nervous. And I said, what's going on? Why do you guys look so nervous? Are you worried? And Indy says, kinda. I said, are you worried because Yaya's cooking dinner? Yeah, like you've never cooked before.
It's hard to believe you're the mastermind behind Maria's favorite.
Yeah, well, I just took 2 products and put them together on a plate, trust me. But I don't know if you remember how many years ago that was where I cooked.
You're still in the old location.
Well, no, but somebody called me and wanted to do an interview about cooking a turkey.
Oh, I did, yeah.
No, but it was pre-you.
Oh, it's pre-me. Okay.
Yeah, and they came to the restaurant and wanted to interview me about how to cook a turkey.
Oh, I remember that.
And I said to Dad, you need to go and talk to them about this turkey. You know how to cook a turkey. Of course, it's so easy. You know how to cook a turkey. Come on, Marie. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess I do know how to cook a turkey. And I think I took I don't know how many pounds it was. It wasn't that many pounds, maybe a 10-pound turkey. And I said, cook it about 6 to 7 hours. Yeah. And I happened to be in the mall that day just before Christmas, and all these people were like coming up to me, my dear, how big was the turkey you cooked? I was like, okay, and we're done. I'm never cooking a turkey again.
Oh my God. What was interesting though, because you guys were closed. You could still get Maria's ribs at the Grace United Church.
I know.
At the fair and stuff.
I know.
So it was kind of neat, actually.
Well, and
we had 3 of them. We had 3.
What was funny about the Grace United was they said, well, they only wanted one pail of sauce, and I was like, no, because we're going to be closed. And you could also get my ribs out in Edgerton at Edgerton Days.
Oh, really?
The weekend before the fair. So, I mean, we had you covered.
Yeah. Actually, they were pretty good.
Yeah.
We each had one, and they were like, you want to split another one? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we had Co-op loaded with sauce and Greek dressing, and because we phoned all of our vendors and we're like, we're closing for 20 days, and you're going to be the new face of Spiro's for 20 days. So, get your pizzas. And also, I want to just say, I took pizzas home from Spiro's, like frozen pizzas, and I experimented with, how they cook. And I was like, dang, we good.
Yeah, they do cook up really nice.
They cook up great, Yeah. And I mean, that was 2 meals that I didn't have to cook.
I'm telling you, the secret is the cheese, I think.
I think so. And don't mess around with cheese.
Don't mess around with the cheese.
Don't mess around with cheese.
Do you think you guys would have renovated if you hadn't had that fire?
Kurt, I looked at the restaurant as they were tearing it apart, and and that was hard on me too, just watching them just rip something apart, and really hoping you've got skilled tradesmen. We're going to stay on task here, and we're going to stay on time. But yes, I think we would have had to have done something, because we're 17 years. 17 years in that building, and at some point you do need to have a fresh look, and at some point you do need to take your kitchen apart and redo and replace. And
if there's one thing that you it seemed to go with you from the 7-Eleven location, let's call it, to this location, it was the color, wasn't it?
No,
but this is a completely new color.
This is a whole new color.
No, this is a new color, but before, wasn't it kind of like...
No, because, back then, Dad was into the color scheming.
Like a purple kind of?
Yeah, it was a maroon, and he always wanted to do the design, and I look back, and I'm just like, sheesh, some of the schemes. Actually, just so you know, if he wanted to do this new building in a blue and white Santorini theme, Mom and I were like, no.
He sounds like he's got my decorating skills.
Yeah, he was like, let's do
Yeah.
blue and white. And I was like, let's not.
Boy, that would change it a lot.
You
eh?
know
Wow.
what? You want to know what's funny, though? This is not funny. This is sad. We've taken the fountain out of the front entryway, okay? The fountain is gone. Because I was like, I'm done with that fountain. No more fountain. I'm tired of the fountain. I think the fountain is dated. Oh, my God, I've had 3 children in tears.
Really?
They've come to put their money in the fountain, no fountain, tears.
Are you bringing the fountain back?
Absolutely not.
Sorry, kids.
Yeah. So, and even Spiro was like, "What the fountain? What about where's the fountain? You got rid of it?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's gone, Dad." Oh. Don't worry, Dad. It's on your patio at your house.
How many years in the new location?
17.
Okay, that's hard to believe it's been that long.
Yeah.
But you need to renovate after 17 years already. Like, 17 years. Doesn't seem like that long, but it seems like you've been there forever. Like, it seems like it's been so long since you left this location.
Sure.
But 55 years, so that wasn't the first location, though.
No, we've been 55 years in business in Lloydminster, and we came in 1970, September of 1970, and our very first location was at the Shell Ranchero,
Right.
where Wendy's is.
Right.
Yes, and we stayed there, my dad, my Uncle Bill, and my Uncle Jim, who there's very few people that remember Uncle Jim. He passed in 1976. And then Dad and Uncle Bill and another cousin, George Kokonas, they decided that they were going to go big or go home. So they went big, and we were at the Cliff Rose building. That was our building. We were at the 3K Ranch House, and we unfortunately did go home after that one because the interest rates rose so big.
The 80s were tough.
The 80s were tough, and it just wasn't the time for that restaurant in Lloydminster.
Do you remember that restaurant?
I do,
Right.
actually, very much, yeah.
What are your early memories of
My early
working
memories-
in the restaurant or being at the restaurant?
Well, I tell you what, my early memories are at the Shell Ranchero. I remember that restaurant so vividly because I would go to school at Martin Brown, and then for lunches, sometimes I would skip all the way, and literally skip, all the way down to the Shell Ranchero and then get a ride back to school. Or, our summers, we just spent, Mom and Dad would buy us a pass at the outdoor pool. We'd spend our days at the outdoor pool, and then we'd go to the restaurant for, our lunches or whatever. So we were kind of fed by wolves or raised by wolves at the time. Mom and Dad were so busy working, and we just kind of looked after ourselves. So that's why it's such a vivid memory for me, because I was always there.
Right.
And I remember very vividly, like Sundays was a chicken noodle soup day, and just Dad recreated the chicken noodle soup that he was making, which is so weird for my dad right now in his stage, but just to remember the chicken noodle soup. And I had a bowl of it one day, and I was like, oh my goodness, Mom, this is the Shell's chicken noodle soup. And so I really remember the Shell Ranchero, and then we moved to the 3K Ranch House. Late nights at the 3K Ranch House. That's what I remember about the 3K. Just late nights and playing in the basement. I actually took a tour of the Cliff Rose. Didn't take a tour, but needed to use the restroom. The restroom was in the basement. So while
small restroom.
So while I was down there, I was just amazed at. This is kind of where I played all the time, and this is, oh my goodness, I went into a, sorry Dave, I wasn't snooping, but I was. But I went into a room, and like my dad's office chair is still down there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So I want to go back to the soup. Do you guys serve that soup?
No. I don't know that my dad could recreate it. He just got it the one time.
So he didn't write down the...
No.
Yeah.
But, and then
It's
from...
amazing how food will take you back in memories.
Oh, it was like, oh my gosh, and Sundays was chicken noodle soup day at the Shell.
Yeah.
It was just, I remembered it. But, and then we went to to the Lighthouse restaurant, which was beside the CKSA and the Sand Store, right? So we were there for 5 years, we were there from 1982 to 1989, and that's when we came back here. And again, I was able to take a very small tour of the Lighthouse restaurant last summer. They let me walk through it, and I just remember just trying to figure things out. And the Lighthouse restaurant was lots of memories because my brother John and I, we would have to go from high school, lunch hour, down to the restaurant at lunch every day. We'd have to work. So I'd work in the front, Johnny would work in the back every day. So while everybody else was playing, well, you were playing intramural sports, Kurt. I was serving
And watching the
clubhouses.
Flintstones.
Yeah, I was watching, I was, serving clubhouses and taking the till. Take the till. Okay. So I'm steeped in restaurant.
So did you always know you would take over the restaurant someday?
I knew when we were at the Spiro's on the south side, and that's
By 7-Eleven.
Yeah, by 7-Eleven. I one day talked to my dad. He was turning 60. He was making dough, and I was, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? He says, well, I'll probably have to shut it down because, Dean doesn't want it. Johnny doesn't want it. And I mean, I wasn't even a glimmer of maybe you want it, and I just said, I remember, and I've told you this out of my mouth came, I'll take it, I want it. And I just kept like, no, I'll take it, Dad, I'll take it, I want it, I'll do it. And I had 2 small children at the time. And I was married, and I hadn't even talked to my husband at the time about, hey, what do you think? Mm-hmm. It was just like, no, I'm doing it. That's probably why I'm not married anymore. But anyway.
No, there's other reasons. But that restaurant was so small.
Well,
it didn't seem at the time.
Hey, not really, because we actually were at 140 capacity over there.
Okay, that's pretty impressive.
We started at 25, and then I think it went to maybe 65. There was 3 bays to that restaurant. And at the end, we were at 140. Let's say 140.
But takeout was huge for you guys.
Takeout was
especially in that
massive,
location,
yeah.
right?
And we had to make some decisions there because the kitchen was so small. Kitchen
Yeah,
was
I remember
little,
that.
right?
Yeah.
And we were trying to fit so much takeout out of that place. And you know what? I don't think a lot of people know this, but we brought 2 for 1 to Lloydminster.
Yeah.
It was us.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, we brought 2 for 1 to Lloyd.
You had to because you had competitors across the street coming in.
Yeah, we opened the door to 2 for 1.
Yeah.
And we handed out the pamphlets, and we handed things out. And we dropped, Dad was very vigilant at the time in making sure that hotels had, our menus, and apartment buildings had our menus, and he would just take stacks and hand them out.
So when Bill Musgrave came,
Right.
and said, you guys maybe should, I want a restaurant near my hotel kind of thing.
Yep, I want you, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Initially, was it like, oh, that would never happen? Like, that's so far-fetched. There's no way we'd ever.
Well, we had been told by our accountant at the time that it was probably time for us to look at maybe a different building, stop renting, and maybe you should buy. If Maria's going to be interested in the business, this may not be the place for you.
Right.
And also, they weren't really looking after the property that we were in. Becker Developments was who we were under, and they weren't looking after the parking lot was kind of shady and just things like that, right? So you want to, you're trying to build your business.
Thinking about it anyway.
Yeah, we had it was maybe starting to,
Right.
But then Bill came and he said, hey, I want you in my parking lot. I want you for my hotel. And that was a really huge leap of faith because Dad was turning 60, or Dad was 60, and my mom and Dad could have retired. Instead, they decided to go with me because that was what I had said. I want it. I want to do it. I know it's a huge leap of faith. I don't have the money myself to do it. I wouldn't do it unless you guys went in.
Right.
Obviously your money, but obviously I wouldn't do it unless you were there with me.
Right.
So I fully expected to have my parents' partnership.
And it has been. And
Yes.
it worked out really, really,
Yes.
obviously.
They've been amazing. Yeah.
How did it, because Spiro's was popular anyway, when you were over here.
Yeah.
I think, did it seems to me like the pizza was popular over here. Like the pizza was the thing, was the pizza the thing that made Spiro's? Or do you think it was
It was
the
actually
Greek food?
It was the ribs.
It was the ribs?
Yeah, the
That
ribs.
made, like,
And the upgrader.
and the upgrader.
It was the upgrader. The upgrader was being built in the late 80s and the early 90s.
Yeah, it was still going when I moved here.
And we
When it
were
came built.
really, we really came to light with the upgrader because they were really paying our bills. We were delivering, and we were late nights. Like, Dad would deliver out there at midnight.
Really?
He would sit there at the restaurant 11 o'clock, and if it was one order, it was one order. He would sit there, and out he would go with his little blue car, with a little pizza sign on it, and out he would go to the upgrader. And that was really paying our bills and really put us on the map, actually.
Well, I was working at Bonanza at the time, and yeah, when 5 o'clock came, it got crazy.
Yeah.
At Bonanza, the
Yeah.
upgrader did help a lot of businesses.
It did,
here in
and
town.
we're ever so grateful for the Husky upgrader at the time, and it was amazing.
Well, because I always thought Spiro's pizza. Like, I've always thought Spiro's pizza. So I didn't discover Maria's favorites till I think I was late to the party.
I put the Marias together at that restaurant, and it was a lady. We always had to crawl up and figure out what we were gonna have for the special. Lots of, breaded cutlets and veal scallopinis and chicken fingers and fries. Just the stupidest specials. But it was
but the stuff that everybody wants.
Yeah, and Mom and Dad were gone for 10 days, and they were like, basically, don't ruin our restaurant. I was like, seriously, don't ruin our restaurant? Like, I got this. It's not that hard.
How tough would it be for you now to leave for 10 days?
It's easy for me to leave.
You don't
for 10
mind,
days.
eh?
No.
You don't have the don't ruin my restaurant while I'm
No.
gone.
In fact, I think I'm the hindrance there. Just like Armella leaves for 10 days, and she used to give me, Armella's my manager, and she used to give me like a huge list of things, like do this and make sure you do this and make sure you do it this way. And this last time she left, she was gone for 6 days, and she gave me like 4 things on my list. She's like, if you can manage this, I'm happy. I was like, oh.
It has been 17 years, and now you got the renovations coming. But if you missed out, because we've had Spiro on the show talking about losing the restaurant and then building the restaurant back up,
Wow.
and how catering had a huge part in that.
Yeah.
Was probably the thing that saved.
It was. Yeah. And I was a part of that catering with him. I catered with him.
Yeah.
And honestly, bringing Dad back into this, we catered your wedding.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And
about a year ago.
A year ago almost, and it was really awesome. I brought Dad with me. I knew that he couldn't do a lot. He has a few little cognitive things going on, but just to have him there was really cool. And your wedding will be the last wedding he ever caters.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yours is it.
There was kind of a buzz that Spiro was there, actually.
It was a huge buzz. Yeah.
He cut the roast beef.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah, he stood at the end and cut the roast beef, and it was a big deal that he was there.
It was huge. Yeah. He was really very proud of himself to be there too, because
it was a big thing for us to have him
Yeah,
there too. It was pretty awesome. Well, we haven't talked about Maria's Days
No.
yet, so what we'll do is we'll take a break, and when we come back, we will talk about Maria's Days.
How can you help support the oil and gas industry and jobs in Western Canada? The answer is closer than you think. Sell your scrap metals to PWM Steel. PWM sells scrap iron to Evraz, located in Regina. Evraz's #1 customer is the energy sector, building pipes and plates for the oil and gas industry. PWM Steel is your locally owned metal recycler and steel service center in the area. Plus, they're a strong supporter of the community. PWM Steel, your top steel supplier for Alberta and Saskatchewan for 40 years.
At Jason Arden Associates Cooperators, we're proud to be a top-rated local insurance company that offers flexible solutions and expert advice for all your insurance and investment needs. We'll work with you to tailor your insurance specific to your needs, and we offer investment advice that always puts you first. At Cooperators, one of our core values is to give back to the communities that we live in. Thanks to the support of our clients in Lloydminster and area, in 2023, Jason Arden Associates has donated $40,000 to local nonprofits, charities, students, athletes, and other special events. How does your insurance company support our community?
I'm Brian Zinchuk of PipelineOnline.ca. I used to be a pipeliner, and I've spent the last 15 years reporting on energy in Saskatchewan. PipelineOnline.ca provides comprehensive coverage of light oil, heavy oil, lithium, helium, power production including coal, wind, solar, geothermal, natural gas, and nuclear. There's a lot happening in Saskatchewan's energy sector, and Pipeline Online is there for all of it. No one else comes even close.
It's more than just taxes at L&A CPA. Assurance, accounting, retirement planning, estate planning, business consulting, financial consulting, farm program support, and bookkeeping. But yes, there is always taxes. The team at L&A CPA is committed to helping you achieve your best results and will be there to assist you every step of the way. L&A CPA, with offices in Provost, Vermilion, and Lloydminster.
Welcome to Wellings of Lloydminster and a community of ageless explorers. At Wellings, age is but a number and adventure is always part of the day. Come experience carefreedom living at Wellings of Lloydminster, where adults 55 plus enjoy a vibrant, stress-free way of life with a whole lot of fun. Stop in and say hello to their new general manager, Nicole, at 7211 72nd Avenue on the Alberta side. And visit wellingsoflloydminster.com for more. Wellings of Lloydminster, carefreedom living starts here. Well, we want to welcome you back inside the new Lloydminster Nissan as well. Here we have Maria Kokonas joining us, and I started to say, if you would like to, you can go watch the interview on YouTube of we talked to your dad.
Yeah.
About 2 years ago, I think it was.
Yep.
Well, we talked to him once in Canada Day, and then we talked to him again, and he told us the story about reviving the restaurant and about your mom and his relationship with your mom, which is you'll want to watch it.
It's a good
If you
one.
haven't watched it, I suggest you go watch it. But Maria's Days. Okay, not everybody has a day or days named after them.
Right.
But you do. So tell us about the theory behind
Yes.
Maria.
Yes. So in Greece, we have Saints' Days, and not you though. Sorry, no Kurt Day. But you have your Spiro. His name day is on the 11th of December. Is Spiro's name day. That's the day that everybody will call Spiro and say Chronia Pola, many more. We wish you many more. And so my name day happens to be on August 15th. And that's the largest name day in all of Greece. It's the biggest. All of Greece shuts down. It's bigger than Christmas. Of course, my name day is bigger than Christmas. So if you know me, you know that I will happily jump on any bandwagon that celebrates me.
Of course, yeah.
So it really is all about me.
So it's Saint Maria's Days.
Yes, Mary, the Mother of God.
Okay.
Of course. So, and I, traditionally, when it's your name day, you would maybe walk around, invite your family over, you would provide a meal for them, or you would, maybe give some chocolates to your guests that are coming. It's you celebrating, but it's you giving.
Right.
So we decided, because 5 years ago, we were celebrating 50 years in business. So 5 years ago, we said, hey, what better time of year? Maria's Days. Let's call them Maria's Days. And obviously, shamelessly pandering my name and, me, exploiting me. So we're providing to the community a fun weekend, or a fun Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah, and 5 years ago it started. It doesn't
Yeah.
seem like that long
No, it's
either.
Yeah,
But 5 years ago it started. It was a hit right away.
it was. Yes.
Yeah. Tell us about Thursday.
So Thursday, we have a vendor's market, and we have the market right in our parking lot. We've got about 40 vendors this year, Kurt. So we've got some great vendors that have come every year, and they do really well, and their setup is beautiful. That's what I love about this market, is everybody brings like their best, One that I like, Flint Farm Honey. You come and you stock up on your, farm honey, and she's got a really big display, which I love. Bearology Beauty is there with Jill Kelly. Catchy Cafe. Honestly, have you had one of their drinks?
Very popular, yes.
Very delicious. Love them. I actually was last year I saw somebody walking around with one of the big fat straws. I was like, where are they? I gotta go find them. So I hunted for them and they were there.
Were they there last year too?
They were there last year there. We've got permanent jewelry this year. Like, honestly, I always see my friends and I was like, oh, you've got permanent jewelry. Where did you get that? Oh, I went to a market. So this year we made sure that they were at our market because I'm getting some permanent jewelry. We've got Dave's Custom Leather for the gents. I mean, sometimes we see some guys coming out and they're like, hey, I want to get a belt. We've got Sipology is there, so you can get your tea. That's Bonnie Rish, and she's got.
Oh, yeah.
She follows the markets. Sunset Gourmet is there. Sorry, I'm reading off of this, but Wild Cactus Collab Print. Kim Capperell is going to be there with his shirt making business, and I always I'm always like. I always say to him, Kim, can you make me a shirt? Yeah, right now. I could do it right now. Norwex and Borealis Chaga is going to be there. Oh, what's her name there? Oh, I want to read this out 'cause she's awesome. Baubles and Bling Jewelry. That's a really great. She's got a big setup there, and she sells lots. Bellezza Moda. She's good. She brings her little pink.
Yeah.
Trailer. She follows the fair.
She got a big
around.
showcase.
She's got a big showcase.
Tracy Kurtz, yeah.
Yeah. So lots of people. We got cookies. We've got soap people there. Cookies. Carrie Court's going to be there. She has delicious. Have you ever had Carrie Court's cookies?
Yes.
My God! Every time she puts them on the internet, I've got 4 boxes of cookies. I'm like, I'll be right there.
Yeah, they're
And I have no idea what I'm going to do with her cookies. But I want them.
Well, I know what I'd do with those cookies.
Man.
But why do you guys do the vendors? Like, there's a reason you want to help small businesses.
I want to help small businesses by giving them exposure. And I think it's really important we look back at COVID when Lenny and I sort of hit the streets and we gave wings to some of these small businesses and let the community know what was happening. I've always had such a heart for people that are just small.
Right.
And don't know how to get their message out. You know, I remember sitting, we would have these 6 o'clock Sunday meetings in the morning, Eleni and I would sit, because we were feeding the upgrader. The upgrader saved our bacon during COVID.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
We had a huge contract. So I remember sitting at 6 o'clock in the morning with Eleni having just a team meeting of what we wanted to do and how we wanted to blanket the community. What could we do for our community? And I remember looking out the window at Second Cup thinking, I don't think people know they're open. We saw people go through Tim Hortons, but we never saw people going through Second Cup. So we went through Second Cup and we said, can we do a live broadcast with you tomorrow morning? Can we come through here and just promote that you're open and your hours and how you're doing with, what are you doing for hours and what are you doing for, COVID practices and what can we come? And we did. We went the next morning and then we went through, we did a live, Eleni and I bought a gift card, left it there for some people, and then we went and sat and watched.
The next 10 people or something.
Yeah,
through.
and then we went and sat and watched, and all of a sudden, people started lining up. And so I've always had a real heart for our community. Of course, I've got a heart for our community, but I've always had a heart for small businesses and people that are trying to make their way, feed their families, promote their businesses, promote things that they've created by themselves. They've taken a leap of faith by creating all this product. Why can't we have a small market for them?
Now let's help them showcase it.
Yeah, and we don't charge a lot for them to come. I think it's like $75 for them to come and be at our market, and they do really well. And it's a large open space market, which is great. It's not tight and hard to get around. It's large. People like that.
You got entertainment at that too.
We do. I think we have Tom Hall at that one. Yeah. And he's always fun. And, we got people that don't really want to do the market, so they'll come and bring their lawn chairs and sit and listen to Tom Hall all night. You'd sit on the patio, sit in the restaurant, have your dinner. Of course I'm going to, promote Spiro's.
Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't I?
Yeah, well, you need to.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody needs some promotion. So that's Thursday night.
Right.
And then you got a huge concert.
Right.
Like a big concert coming
Jordan
on Friday
Pollard
night.
on Friday night. Man, I love Jordan Pollard. I listened to her speak at the women's, whatever that women's thing was in February.
Yep.
And she talked to the crowd about her role in her music and where she started and where she's trying to get to and how difficult it is in her world. And I just so appreciated her candor and just being able to talk to everybody and tell us where she's at. So.
And she's grown so much as a performer.
Hasn't she?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I walked right up to her and I said, we want you for the Maria's Days again, and put you on the back of a flatbed truck. That also could be a country song.
Yeah, definitely.
Singing on the back
She
of a
should write
flatbed
it.
truck. She should write it. So she's going to be there?
It starts at?
That one is at 8:30. Or no, 6, sorry, just a minute. That one is a little like 6 to 8:30.
6 to 8:30?
Yeah, 6:30 to 8:30 or something like
Okay,
that.
7 to 8:30.
7 to 8:30.
7 to
What do
8:30.
I know?
Yeah, I think you got 7 here. My eyes aren't what they used to be.
And
so-
again, bring your
Yeah.
lawn chairs, and we've got a few vendors that are going to be in the parking lot that night as well, I think. And last year we were really, really impressed. We had about 60 people, which was great. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. But she's, every year it seems like Jordan Paul gets bigger and bigger to me.
And she
it,
should. She's
It has
amazing.
come along with her, being such a stage presence. Like her stage presence has gotten
Yeah.
so.
And one thing I really am so proud of her for is she's singing the songs that she creates, and she's being true to herself, and she's not jumping in on, she is dipping her toe in the water of Nashville, but she's not being taken over by Nashville. And I appreciate that for her. Saturday, well, again, I like to promote different organizations, and so this year, as well as last year, we had a pancake breakfast for Labus. And I love being attached to Labus. I do. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Just they're such a great organization. They work so very hard at what they do.
Yes, they do. That's the Lloydminster Area Brain Injury Society. We had Verna on the show, and she said, well, I said, what else do you got coming up? We got a breakfast.
We got pancake breakfast.
We got the pancake breakfast.
Yeah,
but,
so
that's right inside the restaurant.
yeah, you know what, if it's cold and rainy, we have it on the patio actually, and it's
Yeah.
just easy. And
I consider the patio in the restaurant.
yes,
Yeah.
me too, actually. Yeah.
Especially you guys have the best roof around.
Oh, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah. So you gotta promote that, but it's by donation, right?
It is, yeah.
So by donation, and there's a car show.
There's a car show from 11 till 3 that day,
Yeah.
so.
So hopefully the rain holds off.
I hope so, yeah.
so we gotta come
But I mean, it doesn't have to be blazing hot. It can just be nice.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So that's what's happening for Maria's Days.
Yes.
And also celebrate the 55th anniversary. So when you say you gotta promote Spiro's a little bit, we don't get to 55 years without a little bit of promotion.
No, we
right?
don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is big, actually. It's
Yeah.
huge. I wish my mom and dad were here for it this year. That's what is wrong with me? I ship them away. I'm like, no, you're going to Greece.
But the 55-year anniversary is the whole year.
We can celebrate them all year.
You can celebrate all year.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Maria.
Thank you.
So Maria's Day starts on Thursday, and as I mentioned earlier, we're heading out to Frenchman Butte tomorrow. You can catch us. We'll be talking about the Frenchman Butte Festival, the huge homecoming. I think it's a huge homecoming that happens in Frenchman Butte. So we'll have that for you tomorrow morning.
Bet you're going out today.